Feel for any tickers, anything that you have that you want us to go through. This is our very first episode with a live panel. We've WhatsApp community and our Discord community. We've gotten a few volunteers to jump on, share their Sunday morning with us. Please give them a warm welcome when we get to that phase. We'll be talking with them and Andrew and PJ about the crypto crash. What does this mean for crypto? What's really happening with crypto? And what can we do to prepare ourselves? We're also going to touch a little bit on Luna and Terra and what that crash really meant and how to prevent, things like that happening in the future, or how do we position ourselves for things like that in the future? What's been going on with stocks? Why are stocks down? Is this just part of the cycle? Also, for those of you who like technical analysis and charts, we have a very special technical analysis chat and chart section. We're so excited to talk about our first annual Bit Games. There's only 9 days left in the competition, and we're going to give some information about that as well. And if you stay tuned, we're going to be giving away some prizes. Yep, that's right. There's going to be a winner live on air that we're going to announce, and we're going to be giving away a prize from Orchid Nail Spa. You can give them an email or give them a call. We're really excited to have them as our sponsor for this show today. All you got to do to get entered into the prize giveaway is type hashtag SFX in the live chat window, and you'll be entered into the live prize giveaway. Hit that like button, hit subscribe and the notifications, and make sure that you're locked and loaded. Please put away all distractions. Make sure that you're focused. We're going to have some fun this morning. Thank you for watching. Nothing that is said during this show should be construed as investment advice. Remember to conduct your own analysis and seek your own financial advisor before investing. This show is brought to you by Signature FX.
Hey, Carlsen! This your boy, Mr. Photogenic, and you're locked into the best investing channel on YouTube, Signature FX. Big up yourself, my boy Mandela, and the whole Signature FX team. Like, subscribe, share, coming in hot.
Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing today?
That introduction just wore me out. Wow. Brilliant. Yeah, good. How's things? How are we doing?
Everything's good. Everything's going great. How you been? How's life? How's life treating you over there?
Yeah. Life's good. Over this side of the pond. Been obviously doing a little bit of trading, looking at the crypto crash, shorting a little bit of gold, and it's been pretty good. In fairness, I'm still prop trading with the 5%ers and Audacity Capital, and we need to catch up on that and see where we're at. But everything's going really well. It's just the crypto market for me at the moment. It's okay as a crypto hodler. It's not great, if I'm honest. I will say this now, for people who are tied up in crypto, people who have invested a lot of money, I'm really, really sorry to see what's happened. It's not good. But what I am hoping from people is that they had sensible get-out clauses, so if they bought at a certain price, they had this stop loss just above that, they had a good exit strategy. And that's what I'm hoping for people. So I'm hoping people haven't got burnt. It's a terrible thing, and maybe in the WhatsApp groups and on the Discord, maybe it might come across as if I'm being a little bit smug about it all, because I did say a couple of months ago I could see this happening, but people losing money, to me, it's no joke. And if you are down on your crypto investment, I think the tide will turn. I think we will see all-time highs. It's just about having patience again when we go through this next cycle.
Yeah, well said. And I think you're right. I think you have to be conscious of the cycles. There are bull cycles and bear cycles. So PJ, what have you been up to? What have you been seeing as well?
I've been just on the sidelines, just watching, man. That Terra Luna drop was serious, and I think everybody's a bit cautious of regulations, and I know anybody that is dealing with Tether should be a little bit, skeptical at this point, because it's not impossible for it to happen to Tether as well. I think it's you really have to dance around and try to just be safe at this point.
You're right.
So for me with Luna or Tether, it's it's at rock bottom. Okay, you know, where could it go next? Yeah, it could get liquidated, but it's not going to take a lot for that to happen. Obviously, not financial advice, and only risk we can afford to lose. But to me, that's not a bad punt at the moment. It's something I've been looking at. So I think it was last week, guys, I reached out to the pair of you and actually told you, I've taken a long position on Luna and Tether, and who knows in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I did see some. It was a tweet, I think, from Do Kwon, the CEO of Terra Luna, and he was mentioning how they're gonna have something like a Terra 2.0, and those that are holding Terra Luna will have like a airdrop going on with the new protocols. So yeah, you only lose when you sell. I know that's kind of hard to swallow when you drop down from 119 all the way down to minus, sub 1 penny. But
yeah. But what I want to say on that, so the price is around $120. Guys, listen, if you didn't have an exit strategy at $120, I will say, now that I find it hard to have sympathy for you for that. So, if you bought into Luna, you probably would have got in around the $10 a coin maybe, and it's pumped up to $100. Now you should be setting your stops at $20, and if you haven't, it's okay. I'm sorry, that's sort of, it's greed, isn't it? You know what I mean? And for that, I find that hard to have sympathy. But where people have bought at all-time highs, so Joe Public, who's gone in and bought at $120, and then that's happened. Yeah, I'm sorry for you guys. And the only advice I'll give in the show is all-time highs. Just don't buy. You sell at all-time highs and you try and buy at the all-time lows. And, that definitely works. We'd have an all-time low on Luna, and it's a good opportunity. It's a risk because there's nothing propping that up, but I think it's a really good opportunity, maybe for a quick turnaround, for a quick buck. And that goes for Ripple, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum. Listen, guys, if you're buying Bitcoin at $60,000 because it's an all-time high, and then you get sucked into the hype, the fear of missing out. If you're buying at that price, people are giving you the wrong advice. Whoever's telling you to buy, you just need to sack your mentor. At the end of the day, it's when a price is pumping, that's when you should be the most cautious. And, I'll try and explain that a bit more maybe in one of our other videos, Mandela. But don't go buying all-time highs. So if Bitcoin now goes back up the other end and it ends up going 65, 70k, don't go buying around there. Let it drop back down, and then that's your buy-in strategy for sure.
Yeah. Well, I do want to bring in our panel next. I know that they probably have a lot to kind of weigh in on this topic. So we're going to bring in Shane, Carlsen, and Terri, and just basically welcome to the show. Welcome to the
guys.
show.
Thanks for having us.
Morning. On the show.
Morning.
So I guess if you guys, you want to just start off just telling us a little bit about yourself and just how you got into investing. You want to go first, Carlsen?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me on. So how did I get into investing? It was probably like late 2018, met Mandela, and he was telling me about gold, and the guy would not shut up about it, man. Like, man, it's my boy though. So I learned a lot about the gold trade and how, the macroeconomic factors impact it. And then fast forward to 2019, 2020, especially beginning of 2020, started getting into stocks and such a little bit here and there, not too much. Like most people that started that year, it was the foolishness, right? So your Teslas, your AMCs, silly stuff like that. But once 21 into 22 hit, I started to get more serious, started really focusing on index funds, ETFs, all that good stuff, looking at like mega cap things, and also just solid fundamentals. So our conversations, Mandela and I's conversations have gone from signal providers to PE ratios and fundamentals, free cash flow and such. So it's been fun.
So Mandela's got a lot to answer for because he introduced me to this as well. So anyone else? Show of hands. Yeah, Mandela.
Show of hands.
Yeah, there we are.
All right, Teresa, you want to go next?
Sure. So I actually got started with investing in high school. We had an investing challenge, and so each high school was, put in a team, and we basically were given $100,000, to invest. And so that was like my first introduction to what investing could be. Unfortunately, I didn't carry it on after high school, but recently I did the investing master class with Mandela, and that kind of really reopened my eyes to the power of investing and how I can use it as a tool to build generational wealth, because I've been on this kick for the last 3 odd years on really improving my financial literacy and getting really serious about what's the next generation of my family going to look like. And so I've spent a lot of time just trying to really understand, reading the markets, seeing what's happening in the news and how that could potentially impact what's going on in the markets. When I see news about different companies, I'm paying attention to what is happening to their stock price. Is it going up? Is it going down? Even if the news was good and it went down, the price went down. Why is that? What particularly about that news piece made it go one way or the other? And that's been a really interesting thing for me to just kind of see that it's not always about the red and the green. There's so much more to it than when you see the price going up and when you see it going down. But I'm really enjoying this journey, and I'm happy to be here this morning.
Yeah, so really happy to have you, Teresa. I'm looking forward to getting you back on the show to go through Money Saving Expert version 2. So yeah, really enjoyed that last show. So but yeah, welcome back.
Thank you, Pat.
Yes, welcome.
All right, Shane.
Hey, morning, guys. Yeah, so I guess I would be kind of the rookie of the panel. I've been into it about maybe since the end of 2020, beginning of 2021. I was always interested in it, but I would never get into something unless I understand to a certain degree, what I'm getting into. So that's when the Investor Masterclass rolled around, and Mandela having a pop by my desk telling me about this class that he does. And I guess I'll be a good fit for it. And actually I took it, learned a lot, and pretty much started getting into it more and more, and I'm more confident with it. Still a steep learning curve right now, but every day I'm learning, every day I'm applying my knowledge to my investing. So that's pretty much where I'm at now.
Yeah, that's great to have you, Shane. And yeah, one thing is with investing or within the trading, I'm learning something new every day. I've been doing this for years, and I finally think I got to that final, peak of the hill, the top of the hill, and then when I get there, I look at the top of the hill, and there's my next challenge and the next challenge. Yeah. So it's never ending learning, continuous improvement. But it's good, it's something we really enjoy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, guys, okay, Mandela, I'll start the questions off. So first of all, it's the first time we've got a panel here, so welcome. And guys, what's your opinion on what's going on with crypto stocks and in the market? And I'm just really interested in everyone's opinion of why you think it's tanking at the moment. So Carlsen, if you don't mind, we'll start with yourself.
Yeah, sure. So I look at it from just a high level macro perspective. It's pretty clear that, to me, the crypto market is driven by the large, I guess what you can call institutional crypto players, right?
Yeah.
So and they seem to also follow what a lot of you call the risk profile of assets. So crypto has become a risk on asset class, and so of course, given the rising interest rate environment, as well as a lot of the volatility associated with the Federal Reserve peeling back the money that it started printing for about 1.5 years straight, it's definitely clear that a lot of those crypto players are selling out, looking to get into other things, taking profit. But at the same time, the fact that Bitcoin itself has a cycle, it's pretty interesting. I guess the only part that I disagree with for some people is the idea that the Bitcoin halvening cycle sort of dominates the whole framework. Because I don't necessarily think that, but it's also strange that the last cycle itself correlated with the 2018 rise in interest rates. later in that year. So it's just food for thought. I think putting numbers out there, probably heading back to 20K for Bitcoin. That seems to be the nice like supply
Yeah,
area,
agreed.
and I'm okay with that. Did I buy in like the 40s? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I buy in the
So
50s? Yeah, that's
yeah,
fine.
so
Yeah.
just touch on that. I think yeah, that's brilliantly put, and I agree with everything you said. And the funny thing with crypto at the moment was a lot of people, myself included, maybe a couple of years ago, thought the crypto was the answer to inflation. Yeah,
Mm,
the crypto was the hedge for inflation, and you know we have been proven wrong. And I think your level around 20K, I think that's spot on. I can see crypto uh, probably reducing by another 50%, and then you know I'll be jumping up and down, you know, with my buy levels and what I think which direction I'm going to take. But yeah, Carlsen, you know, I agree with that. I think it's spot on, to be honest. So, Terry, what are you thinking about your crypto and stocks?
I'll take the stocks part of the conversation. And I think what's been really interesting, and I'll talk about, I guess, Twitter to start, was just this. And I talked earlier about the news articles and how they shift the different price points and what's happening with the businesses. And I thought it was really interesting when Elon, you know, first announced that he wanted to buy Twitter, and how that it was like a week after that where Twitter was like, was going down and then it was coming back up. And I was like nervous because I'm like, well, I thought Twitter was a decent enough buy to just have and just let it sit there. And it kept moving in directions that I wasn't ready for it. So I got a little nervous. And then after the sale went through, he's the new owner of it. And then it was still tanking. And I was like, wait, shouldn't this be like good? Like, shouldn't someone transitioning to purchase a business, you know, be good news? And it was not good news. And I was really concerned as someone who is trying to find a stock and think her whole strategy through. It like threw me off for a little while. I got a little like anxiety. So I was like, let me just step away from this and just take a breather. And so I started to do a little bit more digging into, you know, Elon and his story. I'm not a big Elon person. Like, I don't really know what he's got going on besides like, you know, the Tesla things and all of like his manic stuff on social media. So I didn't really appreciate his overall personality. And then as I started to dig deeper into that, I was like, okay, there are people that don't obviously like him as a person. And so they are possibly taking their feelings toward him out on a stock. And so that was one of the things, and I've talked about this with Mandela a lot, and he talks about it in the Investing Masterclass as well. It's just like being able to manage your emotions, because sometimes a pick that you think is going to go well doesn't go well, and you have to like really figure out for yourself, do you want to stay there for a while and just like ride the wave, or are you going to make that decision and just like pull out all of your funds and then feel like FOMO or not FOMO? So that's been something that I've been just trying to manage for myself, is just watching the stock market and watching different things, see how they're moving. So I changed my entire strategy. I decided to focus on commodities, and that's been doing me really well over the last couple of weeks, just like transitioning from something that I knew about into something that I don't know about, so that I can kind of go through this entire process of understanding my strategy and why it's working and why it's not working.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's great, Terry. And I like what you had mentioned about, you know, the news piece. And I think one thing that I found really helpful is to look at the charts and then look at what news comes out. And sometimes I find that the news is actually used to try to encourage retail investors to buy. So when you see that happening, you really need to pay attention to the macro events that are going on, and you know, you will really position yourself well if you could sort of align the two with your strategies. The short term or long term, you know what I mean? That's a big factor. If you're not worried about Twitter being bought, and you still believe in the project and think it has legs to grow, okay, cool. But you know, you really need to check the macro events. You know, all of the big tech stocks. What direction are they generally heading? Like maybe look at a monthly chart or 2-month chart or whatever, and you know, just try to gauge the trend that way, and then you could kind of, you know, either get some scalps in, or do some short-term trading. But I really like what you had mentioned of paying attention to the news and trying to align a strategy with it. What about yourself, Shane? How are you thinking about? What's your thoughts on the market at this point?
Yeah, I kind of take a more simplistic approach to how I was looking at it. Once crypto wave came in, I paid attention to it, but then I also started asking questions of people that was investing in it, and I found that they was gambling more than anything. They wasn't really looking at any of the volatility. It was pretty much just doing no analysis at all, and they really didn't have any knowledge of investing. So I said, if you combine that lack of knowledge with the type of environment that it is, I kind of always was a negative Nancy. I said, I don't know if this is gonna last too long. I always figured a crash was gonna come, and so said, so done. So I kind of took that same approach to the to some of the investing that we was doing before, and I was just shorting everything pretty much. But yeah, I kind of figured it was gonna happen, just for the influx of amateur investors. Just
Yeah.
like I said, they was doing a lot of gambling instead of actually doing any sort of analysis. And one thing that I learned from Mandela was, sometimes it isn't what it seems, and the banks have certain effects on how markets work. And I said, combine that with the influx of people, I just had that gut feeling that it was going to happen.
Yeah,
Well,
you made a great point because there was a correlation between 2020 and 2021's bull run with the crypto market, and if everything's in a mania, everything's up 10x or whatever, those that have the ability to short are licking their chops. You know what I mean? Because once you see those big hockey stick candles,
Hmm.
on the rise, and you start seeing those candles start to get smaller and smaller at the top,
Yeah.
that buying pressure is easing off, and that selling pressure is keeping it right up, right
Hmm.
there, right? So, yeah, great strategy.
Yeah,
yeah.
just one thing myself. I just picked up on what you said there, Shane. So my takeaway is, you're absolutely right. Is you've got too many people calling themselves, investors, and what they invested in, they invested in crypto. They've got no experience. They've never invested in real estate. They probably haven't invested in pension, or they haven't even probably listened to Terry's advice. And we've got these guys, saying invest in crypto, do this and do that, and they have zero experience, and in my opinion, sometimes zero credibility. So yeah, be very careful advice you take. And I like to think of myself as a bit of a seasoned trader now, but before I take any big trade, you guaranteed I'll always touch base with Mandela first, and vice versa. Sometimes I just like to get a second opinion. So yeah, be very careful with these these crypto gurus. They seem to chant quite a lot when we're at the all-time highs, but then when we see the reversals that DJ was just talking about, they know where to be seen. So Shane some really, really good points, and trees are really, really good. Thanks.
Yeah, I wanted to echo that a bit and kind of say, when it comes to trading, I think a lot of times there are a lot of people who are 100% crypto, and that's perfectly fine. But you have to think about it. Well, I think about it as a football team. So with crypto, that's your risk. That's your strikers. So imagine having a football team with 11 Cristiano Ronaldos. Cristiano Ronaldo in goal, in defense, in the midfield. That's your 11 crypto. You're probably going to be leaking a lot of goals. So what I like to do is I like to try and have a crypto, maybe have a currency. Oil's doing well right now. The oil has been kind of like my defense, picking me up when everything else is down. So trying to be balanced and being able to kind of say, okay, yes, I do have my striker who can finish, and I do have these things that can 10x in a day. But at the same time, I want to be around next month or next week, and I don't want to completely blow up if I'm 100% in something like Luna. So just being prepared for the volatility in stocks. I think having a balanced portfolio where you have a little bit of something in separate pockets, like Shane was saying, shorting is a skill that I think not a lot of people have, especially those people who have just gotten introduced into the markets. It does take a moment for it to kind of click. And when it does click, I think you guys will probably attest to it because you all know how to short. But I just have a quick example here. So this chart here, it looks like it's in an uptrend. I'm not going to tell you the ticker just yet, but you can see you're having higher highs and then it kind of shoots up into the top right? Now, if you rotate this completely 180 degrees, this is actually Bitcoin since January this year. So once you rotate it, this is what it looks like. So you're basically going to be shorting instead of buying. So instead of buying the dips, you want to short the rips. And if you look at this chart, you would say this is definitely a buy. When you look at this chart, people are also going to say, well, this is Bitcoin. You only buy Bitcoin. But you have to remember that there is a thing called shorting. And in order to kind of benefit from some downside, you might want to try that out. So just having a quick talk about Luna, because I know we had mentioned that in the preview. What happened with Luna was it's a stable coin. It uses an algorithmic sort of formula as a stable coin. So instead of having cash and other assets in its reserve, it actually uses different various codes. And the main sort of reserve is Luna. So once Luna kind of lost the bottom and started crashing, it completely wrecked the whole stablecoin. So the main thing is confidence, and confidence was definitely dented in crypto during the crash. There's no doubt about it. In terms of the plumbing and the mechanics of it, as the price of assets dropped, everybody is just basically taking their liquidity out, cashing out, going to US dollars. As they're cashing out, selling, they're going to be pulling the price down. And as a result, that just ended up being a cascading effect with Luna. And there was other reports of things like purchasing Bitcoin. And then when the value of Bitcoin dropped, that actually exacerbated the issue. But we have to be careful in this space. Like I said earlier, you don't want to go all in on one coin. And unfortunately, it's a hard lesson that a lot of people had to learn as a result of it. And I don't want to belittle anybody who is 100% crypto or anybody that doesn't understand shorting. That's what this show is all about. So I want to throw it back to the panel and kind of get some ideas from you about the Investing Master, the Bit Games. So the first Bit Games, I think all of you are participating in the Bit Games. We're really excited to have you all in there. Everybody seems to be doing quite well. Everybody's doing better than me, so that's a good start. And I'm glad to hear that. But I guess, we can start off with Shane. My apologies. Shane Hollis is in second place right now, just behind our first place competitor. So Shane, can you just kind of let us know a little bit about like how you found the Bit Game so far, and maybe some advice for anybody who wants to get into second with the last 9 days left?
That's probably me after
or first.
Yeah. Actually, I learned a good bit of things within the last couple of weeks. Actually, I think my competitive spirit kind of kicked in as far as just trying to place as high as possible, rather than the returns itself. I mean, the returns could have been smaller than that, and I was still just trying to be competing, to come first. Mm-hmm. And vice versa. If the returns was higher, I'll be still trying to get to that level. But one thing that I kind of touched on earlier was the shorting aspect. I took that strategy into it, and I also felt that I started watching who was successful, how were they successful, and some of the trends that was happening when the markets was down. I found that Shane Carlsen in first place, when the markets was down, because we're both short, he was actually expanding his lead a lot faster So I started looking at, what was he doing? So what I did was, once the markets started going up and we both would start dropping, I started going long on oil to kind of ease the drop. And that's pretty much what helped me to kind of close that gap. Was I pretty much knew to control my losses better than, when they dipped, and control that. So that helped me close the gap on him. And the other advice I think Terri touched on it was, know when to get out. I took away all my my pride with my trades, and was starting to turn into a high volume trader. And I said, you know what? As soon as I started getting to a certain point, I'm not going to keep my pride and think that I got it right all the time. I accept that I got it wrong, get out of that trade, and revisit it later. So that was pretty much my strategy, was controlling my losses.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing that. I do have a word from Shane Cools, who was our first place person. So I do want to just share that so that you have a chance to respond to what Shane Cools has to say. So let's go over to Shane Cools now.
Easing in towards the end of the Signature FX annual competition. And I have to say, I've been feeling pretty good, but lately I feel like I'm getting chased. Shane Hollis, we share a name, we share a birthday, we share an employer, and we share a love for shorting the NASDAQ. He's chasing me up. I feel like he's one good day away from passing me, which I'm going to try my hardest to make sure doesn't happen. I've already spent my money in my head a couple different times. I think I'm going to throw myself a nice little party, and for those of you listening, it'll be in about a month and a half at John Smith's Bay. Hopefully we got the DJ Mandela himself spinning the great tunes, and we can eat some nice food, and drink some nice drinks. But in the meantime, I think we're in this really choppy market, and you got to ride this wave like a surfboard. I continue to kind of want to be short on a lot of names, but I think just to kind of balance it out, I'm going to try going long these last 10 days or so and just kind of see what it does.
Thanks, Shane. So I don't know if you want to add anything onto that, but he sounds like he wants to go long. It's about 9 days left. So I don't know if that changes your strategy or you're just going to stay focused.
Nah, I'm going to stay focused, but that's kind of part of my strategy, was getting long at certain times. But yeah, he's right. We share his name, we share a birthday, we share an employer. And we argue about who's Shane 1 and who's Shane 2 at work. So
yeah,
I'm
don't let him
Shane
get
2
into your
again.
head. Yeah, don't let him get in your head. You could still be Shane 1. You have over a week left.
I passed him one day. It was for about an hour, and then he took off again.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to be competitive all the way to the end. I can tell you that.
Yeah, we have faith. We have faith in you. So I don't know if Carlsen and Terri wanted to say anything about the game. If you're in a position to say something, please go right ahead.
Sure, I'll go ahead and pop in because I will share my backstory. I actually got sick when the challenge got started, and so I didn't get to start when everyone else did. And so when I came in, I took the approach again. I'm not going to try to compete with everyone. I'm going to compete with myself. And so basically, my strategy has just been to look at my picks and understand why I'm making the picks. Don't just make a pick to make a pick, because I feel like sometimes, I think Shane had touched on this earlier, is the amateur trading, when you just pick a stock just because you saw it somewhere online or someone that you follow on social media said you should buy it. So I've actually been really trying to strategize and think how I would like to make my trades and why these trades are important to me. And so going into the last 9 days, I intend to start to look at some more indices and really try to see what's in them and determine if that's an index that I want to get into or not, because I do know that buying individual stocks is great, but then indexes can help as well. And that's something that I want to start to play around in this last 9 days, is to really try to see what else I can get, because the stocks are so easy. We all know about them because they talk about them more often, and crypto is now a hot topic to talk about, but I don't see a lot of people talking about the indexes that they're in and why they're in them and what makes up their index. And so that's kind of what I want to go into for the next 9 days, and then just see where I place.
Great. Yeah, you make a lot of good points, and I do think indexing and kind of trying to basically balance your risk a bit, so you don't actually have to pick the best company, but you're kind of picking the best theme, and whatever theme is doing well, you'll still profit from it. So yeah, I think that a lot of people overlook that as well. So I'm rooting for you too, Terry. So Carlsen, you're welcome. Carlsen.
Yeah, so this has been a really interesting learning experience, right? So before I came to it, I was sort of on the position of, oh, you have like investing versus trading, right? And of course, people always say if you're an investor, you're long term, if you're a trader, you're short term. But then it's like, okay, there are even different types of trading. So this competition works best with, what I've found out through my research, as in momentum trading, right? So it's interesting because at the time that the competition started, we found like a really strong directional movement downward. That was just pretty clear, right? Whereas the previous competition, it was a little bit like choppy here and there. So you could sort of pick out individual companies. But in this case, as you can see, like most people that have, trended toward the top of the ladder board have been shorting the overall market and companies whose fundamentals are, pretty bad and who just end up getting rug pulled. So we can sort of go down the list, starting from your SoFi maybe about a month ago, Tesla's, Nvidia, AMD, etc., and now looking into retail like Walmart, Costco. So it's been interesting to see how like the trends have been our friends, as the term Mandela taught me. But I would think like for the next competition, let's say we host another competition in June, I would say that there will probably be a lot more, a greater diversity in the types of assets that people hold. Probably given that we're in a different phase of the bear market. And that's another topic I know you guys are going to get to about like the bear market, how long it lasts, the history, the averages, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So I'll be interested in learning that. But overall, like I definitely picked up a lot of knowledge about shorting, about momentum, directional movements, et cetera, and driven by fundamentals. So it's been a huge learning experience, and I'm super happy and grateful.
Yeah, well, when we set the date for the competition, we didn't know what was going to be happening during the 2 months that the competition was going on, but it ended up being pretty exciting. Lots of stuff happening, lots of headlines.
Lots of action.
Yeah, it has been a lot of action indeed. I didn't want to forget our chat because we have quite a few people who have chatted and posted in the live chat. So thanks to Orchid Nail Spa, they're actually sponsoring this episode, and we're going to be giving away some gifts. So we tie this in because investing is a lot about your mind frame. It's about your risk management, and if you're stressed out and anxious and unable to think, you're going to make very irrational decisions. So just being able to take some time for yourself and focus on your wellness, I think, is key. So shout out to Orchid Spa for sponsoring our show, and we'll be giving away a gift certificate for somebody to treat themselves to something nice. Also, we had Don. Thank you for posting this. He's agreeing with us about crypto being affected by institutions. He's saying the question is how long until the crypto makes its comeback? And I think, Andrew, you touched on that a little bit. We did cover that a little bit earlier, but just from my perspective, I think until we kind of see inflation getting under control, and I also think it's the Federal Reserve cutting interest rates. That's my opinion. Once the Federal Reserve kind of does their 0.5% raises in June and July, I do think that we reassess and we see what's happening. But I don't think that we're going straight up from here in crypto. I don't know if anybody else wants to chime in on that.
Yeah,
But,
I'll just chime in real quick. I think one of the other sort of key metrics to look at is just look at your moving averages. Bitcoin's the lead at this point, and when you see the 50 moving day average cross up above the 200 moving day average, then that's known as a golden cross. So all tides generally lift with it. I'll just throw in, it might be a spanner put in that sort of theory with regulation. We're seeing a lot of regulation talks going on around the world. crypto and stable coins and CBDCs is all the topic of a lot of these governments and central banks. So let's just see how regulation plays into this. And once we get some regulatory clarity, then we might even see new players involved. We might even see a new king. But that's to be seen. And just hold firm.
Yeah, thank you, P. So another comment here from Dom saying quantitative tightening starting in June, and then that's when he thinks things are gonna look like they're gonna get a little bit worse in June, which I tend to agree. I don't think we've seen the bottom in stocks yet, but as always during bear markets, they're gonna be rallies. In the past, I think I have a graphic here. In the past bear markets, there have been, this is since 1930. So you can see since 1930, there have been times when there's been sort of consolidation or even downward moves or bear markets, and they're usually followed up by rallies eventually. So you just have to be mindful as we continue going down lower that there will be, I think, more instances of some more of a downtrend, but you have to be prepared. One of the things I was going to quickly show everybody was this one here. So this was the 2000 bear market, and there are some up moves. So it didn't just drop from 100 to, it didn't just drop 78% overnight. It was a very sort of slow process of ups and downs. It's almost like a tide going up and down, or waves going up and down. But ultimately, you can see it resolved to the downside, which is where I think we're going to be kind of in the summer. But that's where the whole short and the rips come in, because you want to be patient and you want to kind of wait and set your trap, and you want to try and short it at the highest possible point. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do as well. A few more comments really quickly while we have the panel on, just so that they can comment about this. Let's see what else we got. Risk management. So Dom was talking a little bit about risk management as well. I know everybody's got their own techniques for risk management, but I think you'd all agree that that's one of the secrets. That's kind of the holy grail of investing. You can have the best setup, but if you're not managing your funds correctly, you're going to be putting yourself in a lot of danger. And let's see, I think that's good. We got a lot of shout outs here going through the chat. So I guess the last thing I wanted to ask the panel before we wrapped up was if you had any words of wisdom, anything that you want to share with our viewers before we wrap up the panel segment.
Yeah, I can start.
Okay.
And I think we touched on it. I touched on it earlier. Was sometimes you just gotta push your pride to the side and just control your losses. I spoke about that earlier. I find that sometimes if I'm looking into a trade and did the research and did a ton of research on it, and I find that I make the trade and it doesn't go my way, and it continues to not go my way, I kind of figure that it's got to go my way. Sometimes I think that was a detriment previously, so I started learning to sometimes I could be wrong and accept it, get out and regroup. So I figured that's probably been my best thing or my best attribute that I've picked up recently. And I think if you control your losses, you'll be much more successful.
Yeah, that's so true, Shane. And it does take a lot of it's almost like an internal battle that you have within yourself. And you have to have a honest conversation with yourself in a way. Well, that's what I had, just to say, look, it's okay to be wrong, and it's not easy for people to do that, and everybody does it in their own way. Nice to have you back on, Andrew. Looked like you fell off for a second.
I lost you.
Yeah, again. So yeah, got off a new laptop and yeah, it just crashed. So I don't know what's going on, but yeah, you're right. So with trading, it's about accountability. I suppose self-reflection. So I'm a bit of a David Goggins fan. I don't know if any of you obviously know David Goggins, and he has something called the accountability mirror. And yeah, I try and do that quite regular, especially with trading. You know, I have a good look at myself and get my post-it up on the mirror, you know, what I've done wrong. So great book, David Goggins. You know, I'm sure he's watching the show. It's You Can't Break Me, so available. Yeah. It's worth a read. Or it's worth listening to. It's really good.
Nice. Carlsen or Terri, do you want to do some wise words for our viewers?
Sure, I'll go. So mine would definitely be to take care of yourself, to start off with. I do think that sometimes we kind of get so focused on the investing or trading aspect of whatever it is that we might be interested in doing, and we don't really take care of ourselves. So I'm glad to see that today's sponsor is actually a wellness type of business, because I do feel like that's really important, which is why I started late in the competition. But then also, timing isn't everything, and I know that kind of seems like oxymoronic. It doesn't seem like it's the right thing to say, but I feel like sometimes people get so caught up on getting the right trade at the right time that they're so overwhelmed with, you know, what's happening and what's going on, that they want to make it at the right minute. If they don't get it at that minute, everything else goes off the rail. And I feel like sometimes you do have to be patient with yourself and with the market and with what's going on. And if you missed it at that moment because maybe your limit didn't go off or your short order didn't go off, it's fine. Regroup, reset, and just allow everything to kind of flow into play, because sometimes that wasn't the right time. Maybe it wasn't the right time. Maybe the markets are trying to tell you cool out. So, you know, don't always get so caught up in trying to hit everything at those right moments, because sometimes those aren't the right moments.
Yeah. Lots of gems in that, Terri. Thank you for sharing that. And then Carlsen.
Yeah, so just what I was telling you a couple of days ago, Mandela, take profit. All right, that's the biggest takeaway for the last 2 years. If you see your position is up 80%, if we're talking stocks, if you're up 80%, even 30%, 25%, hey, take profit. You know what I mean? It's not that difficult. Put a stop loss in there. For crypto, like Andrew was saying, if you see yourself up 5-10x, take profit, you know?
Yeah.
So it makes sense. I think we probably have some billionaires on the panel, you know, taking profit was the thing.
Yeah,
but aside from
right.
that, yeah, for sure. Aside from that, just, you know, continue to learn, look at the fundamentals of stuff, like really dig into it. And there are so many resources out there. I like a lot of YouTube. That's really my go-to. And now I'm actually finding that Twitter is quite good for fundamentals on stocks. Not necessarily fundamentals on crypto. It could be a little shady for that, but stock Twitter is quite good. So I guess I could throw a few YouTube names out there, like Andre Jik, that's Jikh. He's got some pretty good content. Everything Money, that's another solid group of people, and they have a really good application that allows you to analyze stocks going back, you know, years on a fundamental basis. Those are my top two. I've sort of, you know, filtered through, let's say, dozens, if not like close to half, maybe like 50 different financial YouTubers, and those are my top two for now. Another channel, Dumb Money, that's DUMB Money, like the opposite of smart money. They're solid, and of course, Signature Forex. So
I was gonna say, Carlsen, are these other channels paying you? What's going on here? You know?
Not at all. Not at all.
We want some royalties for that, please. You know?
No, not at all. And I was gonna tell you guys, like, I can definitely share some of this stuff in the WhatsApp groups, because the application that I use, it's pretty good. I've learned a lot of new theory on fundamentals, so I'm solid,
no,
man. I'm
no,
solid.
Carlsen, that'd be great, because at Signature FX, we are about learning from our mistakes and continuous improvement. And that's why, back in the day, Mandela and I, when we got together, that's what we're about. It really is about helping traders or helping investors. And from me personally, I'm on a mission for people not to make the same mistakes that I've made. So Mandela and I, we talk quite often, and sometimes I come across a little bit blunt. But the reason is, I don't want people, maybe going down the same rabbit holes that I went down, and I ended up making a loss. But I just want to quickly answer one question, Mandela, if that's okay, in the chat.
Yep.
Yes.
Which one's
So
that?
yes. So Kim's jumped in and he's asking about stepping away from the charts. Helping
Shout out
with
to the
emotions.
panel. Shout out to the panel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Absolutely. So when I first started trading, I was day trading, and I was trading on lower time frames. I'd be glued to the chart, and then the minute it would move, a couple of pips or a couple of ticks in the wrong direction, you'd start to panic, you start over trading, then you start reacting to the markets, and that's when you start losing money. So what I would say, guys, is cover your ears if you don't like any bad language or if you're offended easily. But if you watch every tick, you're going to trade like a dick. Yeah. So get your plan. Yeah, get your plan. Set your trades. Okay. And if your system's consistent, if you're winning your majority of trades, you are going to hit your stop losses. That's part of it. You will hit stops. But then, obviously, you'd be more profitable in your trades. So yes, set your trades and walk away. Definitely, I'd advise that. Because if you watch your trades, also you drive yourself crazy. So I've had nights where I've actually been awake all night, and I've just been out there on my phone, just looking at the chart, looking at the direction, looking at the direction. We've all done it probably, yeah? So I can tell by the laughs, we've all done it. So yeah, guys, set and forget. That would be my worst few, Kim, definitely.
Yeah.
I just wanted to chime in on that as well, because that's my strategy for this competition. And I have a journal, and forgot that in my wise words. And in my journal, that's where I wrote out the plan, the strategy, and at the top I wrote set the trades for the week, and then that's it. Come back next week and look. Yeah. And even though we get the daily emails from the challenge that says, how much percentage you're up, how much you've lost, and I don't even really pay attention to it. I'm like, okay, that's great, that's cool, move on. And then that has helped me, one, control my emotions, but then also allows me to kind of look for other things in the meantime. And then when I'm ready to sit back down and reevaluate, then I can make that change, because like Andrew touched on, and we've all kind of felt, that anxiety of checking it every day will drive you mad, and you won't be able to do other things like probably live your life. So yeah, so I'll be honest, I've lost sleep. I've actually lost the ability to go to my real job the next day in the past. I've actually been up. That does happen. So let me think, I've probably been up watching gold all night, and then before I know it, it's 6 a.m., 7 a.m., and I have to go and earn a living. And I'm just in absolute. A couple of years ago, was in absolutely no shape. So the anxiety got the better of me, the trade, and markets will go in the direction it decides to go. You can't control it. You can watch that chart. Listen, once you set your trade, you're helpless ultimately. Yeah, and until you get that movement. So yeah. So Teresa, that's a great strategy. It's a really good way of controlling your emotions. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and it's also important to remember that cash is an important position. Risk management and having cash on the side is very important. You want to put it, it all on one, and get the 20,000x returns in one trade. That's unrealistic. But having proper risk management and some cash on the side in case you're wrong, is really, really important too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, I completely agree.
Just let you one of my strategies. I do share it in the Forex and the Discord channel. Is ultimately, if I set a trade and it goes favorable for myself, what I normally do is I put the stop losses to break even. Yeah. So first of all, it's a win-win, and then the second thing, what I'll do then is once my trade hits 50% of the take profit, I will close 50% of that trade. So yes, I'm just taking a little bit of money, putting it in my pocket. If the trade runs, I get the result, I get the win. If the market reverses, it breaks even for me. And I'm happy to explain that more on the Discord channel, how I do it. it's a really simple strategy, and it's a good way of being profitable.
Yeah, I think that's a risk-free trade, basically. Like the worst case scenario, if you lose your internet or the market crashes or moves against you dramatically, you will still end up with that break even.
Yes.
And that's good also for peace of mind and just mental health. But yeah, I'm really glad that the panel has kind of formed and come together. I didn't know how it was going to end up, but it's been a great first show. So thank you to each one of you. One thing I just wanted to add with Carlsen's comment about taking profits is, if it's worth a screenshot, it's probably time to take a little bit of profit. If you want to screenshot that and blast it on your Insta, you want to blast it on WhatsApp, maybe take 25% profit off the table, or half off the table, or something.
Yeah, agreed. And in the current situation we're in, guys, cash is king. And I know that's it's an old cliche, but it really is. Crypto, it has been hammered, stocks have been hammered. So if you're making good profit, and back to what Carlsen said, like, enjoy your winners, to take them and make the most of it. And that'll be my bit early for my wise words, but yeah, cash is king, and take your profits. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thanks to the panel. If you guys want to come on another show, please let us know. Thank you very much.
Definitely.
Enjoyed having you all on there. So I'll speak to you all later.
Thanks. Have a great one.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you later. Bye. All right. So we got a couple of things to go through. I don't know if we're running a little long, but I know we had chat and charts and we had side bet. So which way do you want to go?
Yeah. So first for me, I just want to say thanks to the panel. Hopefully they're still watching. Well, thanks so much. That was really good. I thought it went really, really well, and it's good to get some other opinions. So Carlsen, Shane, Terri, they give me some things to think about, which is brilliant. And there's some really good pointers there, regarding profits, trading psychology, and the competition, which is Shane versus Shane. Yeah, so guys, we brilliant, guys. We can set box office for that. I can't wait for the final week or two. So it's really, really, really good. It's close. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah, it is.
So PJ, I suppose over to you. Where'd you like to go next?
I could congratulate you again. So as you know, we have our side bet, and Andrew was successful again.
There we go. Okay, here we go. Here's the music.
2-0.
It's not on. Come on.
There we go. Confetti and everything. Cool. So yes. So Andrew was able to get the highest low. We had mentioned what will be the price of Tesla by April 28th. And Andrew was definitely successful. And congratulations again, with Andrew. It's been on the side bet.
Yes. Congratulations, Andrew. Congratulations.
So to kind of tip it, I'm not trying to give you no cheat or no edge, but is there anything that you would want me to suggest for the next side bet?
Okay, go ahead, Andrew.
Objection as a token white guy. That's not on, guys. That is not on. You can't be doing that. Come on.
I don't know what the rules say. I haven't seen the rule book recently.
This is
I don't know what the rules say.
But I will say, guys, the victory's hollow. It was purely a guess. It's I won't gloat too much, but So no, I'm happy to. Let's have a look. Let's look at what we decided.
Yeah.
How's Microsoft for you guys?
Microsoft is
good. At the moment, it's pretty shit. My laptop froze up, but
this was the side bet from before, just so people can see how much Andrew won. Can you see that?
Yeah, but I can't see it yet.
Yeah.
Can you see it, Pete? Can you see it, Andrew?
I can. Yeah. Let me just take a screenshot of that. That's pretty sweet.
Can you see that? You can't see it, Pete?
No, I just see us three on the screen.
Us three? Okay, let's try. I'm gonna try and share it here.
Yeah,
let me just put it back up 1 second. I'm gonna put it here. Can you see it now?
Yes.
All right. So this is basically where we were. Let's make it look nice. So this arrow was the end date of the side bet. So I was up and Andrew was down. So I mean, this was the day that the deciding price was. Yeah, so it was close. But I mean, Andrew, you just ran away with it after. You were just showing off.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Mind you, both of you weren't convinced.
But-
Your sentiment was much higher.
Yes, it was.
Yes, well,
It was.
ultimately PJ was the winner if he was in the competition, so he did guess right.
Yeah.
So what's next then, guys? What are we doing?
what's the next
Microsoft,
one?
do we?
All
Is
right,
it
yeah.
Microsoft?
Let's do Microsoft. And was it month time frame too long for you guys, or would you want to stick with that again?
I don't mind.
Weekly or monthly? I'm easy.
Weekly or monthly? Okay. So, all right. So I will ask you, where do you think Microsoft will be? Let me just pull up my charts. May 31st. Is that too long?
No, that's good. That's good.
That's good. That's soon. May 31st that's a week. Yeah.
Okay, want me to do June 20th? It'll be the Monday.
Let's go for 4 weeks from today, shall we? We can or a couple of weeks from today. Yeah, should we do that?
Okay, so let's say, let me just see what I'm looking at. Okay, higher or lower than 230?
Can you mark 230 on the chart? Because I need better glasses. Let's see.
230 is right here.
Will we see a little rally, or will it just
higher or lower than 230? So as the previous winner, do I get to go first, or should we give Mandela? Should we be a bit of mercy, or?
I think we usually did the loser has a little chance. It has a little bit of a chance to come back. Was what we did last time?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you still lost, so you may as well just let me go.
All right. I'm gonna go with, let's think here, 230. I'll say lower. What was the date again, PJ? What was the date?
Right.
June 20th.
June 20th. All right.
Closing. 5 o'clock.
Closing bell. All right. So I'll take the lower, and then I guess Andrew will take the higher.
Yeah, thanks for the choice. just so you know. Yeah.
It seems like you wanted to take that.
I did want to take.
That puts okay. So if that's both of you on the same thing, let's go call a price then. Call a price.
So I'm actually going higher than 230. I think it's going to bounce off the 230.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm happy with higher.
That's why I chose it. But if both of you had the same sentiment, just trying to be fair to everybody.
I think it's going to bounce off that as a support level. So I'm happy for it to go higher than 230 for sure. So I'm happy to take that wager, Mandela.
Okay. All right. I mean, let's see how far.
You must really like dress. Mandela, you must really like dressing up on YouTube.
I do. I mean, it's early. That's an 8% drop. That's 8% lower.
It's too.
If I give my input, would that be cheating, Andrew?
No, you can't. The bet's already made, I think.
No, you can. Yeah, is the bet locked in? Are we locked?
Yeah, I think it's locked. Yeah.
Okay. So P.
If I were to bet, I think with the dip right now, I think we're more than likely to get closer to 200 personally.
Right. Okay.
Okay, that's good. That's music to my ears, P. That's what
that's my preference. No, it's all about timing after that as well.
Yeah. Okay, we'll see. All right, so that's done. So good luck. May the best person win.
Yes. I'm rooting for an exciting competition. We want to. Did we do best 3 out of 4 or what were we?
Was it 6? Wasn't it? Was it
6? Yeah.
Yeah. So we can go for the 6 months for me.
All right. See, I'm anxious to get back in the ring, but all right.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, guys. So where are we going next? What's left of the show?
So the other thing that we were gonna do, I think we're coming up to time now, but we haven't done. What was it now? We haven't done the Trenton charts officially. We can have a look at a few charts.
And just want to quickly highlight another question from Q if we can.
Yeah.
So just try and answer these. So taking profits is vital, but very hard to do when you're stuck on a price. Totally agreed. What my advice would be, NQ, if you're stuck on, for example, maybe just say Bitcoin, yeah. So it was at 60k and you're stuck on 100k. What I'd be looking to do is I would definitely set my take profit at that 100k. If I had bought in and around the 2030s, I'd be looking to put myself a profitable stop loss. So if the price does crash down, you can take your profits, put your dollars in your pocket, and then you can go and buy more Bitcoin at a lower price. Because ultimately, if you've done your analysis and you think that price is going to hit 100k, and you've done all your research, potentially, it could. So, like these dips, they do give you an opportunity to get in at a better price, and and wait until you get to your target. So that'd be my advice for that. But great questions from all the panel. It's been great.
And I'd like to just piggyback on that as well. And I think if you're waiting on a price, it's also very important to consider your position size. Because if you're really heavy on one thing, like Cardano maybe, you really need to just be mindful of your position size. If you're too heavily in one particular asset, then you're gonna get anxious, right? You're gonna get really anxious. Why isn't it moving? I could speak confidently about that based off of my XRP position. I thought that I was gonna see an SEC settlement much sooner than we've seen, but that's the game, and I'm just extended my expectations for a longer time period.
Yeah, just to touch on that with the SEC and what we're seeing is, I don't know, guys. I think a lot of people are thinking once this case, XRP or Ripple Labs win this case, which I think they will. Mm-hmm. Everyone thinks the price is going to moon. I don't think it is. I think what we're going to see and what we see now is regulation, and I think we won't see a true crypto price until it's regulated. Now, listen, I know when I got into Bitcoin, it was to decentralize the banks, XYZ. But listen, you've got to be real. That's not going to happen. Any country that's opposed to the petrodollar, they haven't lasted much longer. It's going to be the same for crypto, and crypto is going to get regulated. And the reason is we're going into we've got a high inflation rate, going into a recession. Governments, I'm speaking for the UK, struggling here. They need to recoup money, what they've given out in COVID, and they want a piece of the pie. And crypto, it's massive, isn't it? If they can start taxing and regulating crypto, they're going to do it. It's an income. They're not just going to let Bitcoin and Ripple, etc., just go by the wayside and people not paying it. They want a part of that, and it's going to happen. So until crypto gets regulated, I think we haven't seen the true price, and expect it to come down a little bit more. Once we get regulated, once people start paying their tax, once the governments are happy, then I think we'll start seeing the true price, and we will start seeing the all-time highs that people are talking about. So long term, I am bullish on crypto, for sure.
Yeah, and just to couple on that as well, the importance of having your crypto off the exchanges. Have your crypto on a Nano Ledger or Trezor or something of that sort. Those two I think are the most reputable. But just from what you had mentioned, governments and they're trying to recoup taxes. And if you hold your own keys, your own crypto, then you could only be taxed if you're looking to sort of cash out on an off-ramp. Now you have different sort of services that will allow you to spend crypto through your card. I think Glint is one, and there's a few others. But that's definitely one of the things that you want to consider is not being able or being exposed to have somebody else confiscate your crypto.
So if your crypto's not on a ledger, it's not your crypto. It's as simple as that, isn't it? So if you're holding all your crypto in Binance, Coinbase, that's we use in the UK. Listen, if Mr. Binance decided, to do a rug pull, what are you going to do? He's gone. Yeah, same as Coinbase. So if you haven't got it on cold storage, it's not your crypto. So if you hold it in Binance, Coinbase, I don't know, any other reputable broker, it's not yours, and it's as simple as that. It's the same with foreign exchange as well. So when you dump a shed load of money into your broker, that's why you have to get a regulated broker. They have to be, they have to be registered with the FCA, etc., because guys, it's otherwise it's not your money, it's gone. And especially with crypto as well, you can find out where your Bitcoin's gone. Maybe you can trace that address, but you're never going to find the person. So if you haven't got it on a ledger, if you haven't got it on cold storage, it's not yours. If it's sitting in an exchange, the exchange ultimately owe it, and they're promising to pay you that amount. But I know a few of these exchanges have gone under. So
just remember Mt. Gox.
Taking the money.
Yeah. I mean, it may cost you a little bit more in commissions, maybe a little bit more expensive, but you get what you pay for.
Yeah. If you're a hodler, put your crypto on a ledger for sure and get it in your safe. If you're trading, it's different. Just make sure you're using a regulated exchange or broker. And I know Mandela. I know we're fans of Saxo Bank. And that's
so definitely for forex and stocks.
And that's because they are regulated and registered with the FCA, and it's really important.
Yeah, absolutely. There is a dark side to investing, and I think the three of us have had our lessons learned, I guess you could say. Yeah. In different ways.
Look what the ringer.
In different ways, yeah. So no, definitely just be on guard. I do want to just pause for one moment and just shout out our sponsor, Orchid Spa. Really happy to have them on board for this show, and we're going to be giving away some stuff from them. They have gifted us with lots of nice things, but
I want a picture of you two in those chairs.
Yeah, well, so the thing is, I'm gonna make an appointment. I'm gonna go and I'll take a few pictures with me down there.
You want PJ, please?
Yeah, PJ can come too. I'm gonna probably get. I was thinking to get a pedicure done. I know it's taboo. It's taboo for men to talk about this on YouTube, but I'm comfortable enough with myself.
Please, guys, I want a pair of you sipping prosecco. Getting a pedicure done.
50 grand.
That would be nice.
Thanks to Orchid Spa. Really appreciate you sponsoring the show.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we can, if you guys wanted to go to our wise words, I'm happy to do that. It's up to you guys, really.
Yes. So for me now, I'm hoping this crypto crash has been a wake-up call, a lesson to a lot of people. My wise words would be: do not buy at all-time highs, and do not sell at all-time lows. So a lot of people now they start to panic, maybe in selling crypto. Is it okay? I do see the price dropping quite a bit more, but is it the time to sell? Probably not. And the next time Bitcoin pumps up to 65, 70k, that is not the time to buy. So do not buy at all-time highs and do not sell at all-time lows. So that's my wise words for today.
Yeah, well said. PJ, you want to go?
Control your emotions. Sometimes trading could be very, very nerve-wracking, and sometimes if you can't sort of control your emotions, you make bad decisions. So breathe, step back from it, and
get a pedicure,
go off the spa.
That's it.
Yeah. Take a day off. Mental health is definitely important, and just take care of yourself.
Yeah, thank you, Pete. My one is when we're in a bull market, you want to buy the dip, and when we're in a bear market, you want to short the rip or short the rallies or short the up days. And don't just keep trying to buy the dip, and you never know when that dip could be a very long time. Eventually it becomes more of a crash than a dip.
Yes, it's a blip or a dip, isn't it?
Yeah. So that would be my wise words for today. I did want to just let people know just before we finish was we are also on podcasts. So if you're if you're watching us on YouTube and you want to listen to us while you're driving, head over to Amazon Music. We're on Audible, Google Play, the Apple Podcast Store. If you are listening to the podcast version and you want to see our nice charts and our handsome faces, head over to YouTube and you can see us and look at all of our charts and graphs. I think that's it, guys. Unless there's anything else.
How you guys fix for time? Do you want to catch up on any charts, trade ideas for next week, or we dipping out?
I can do a few charts. You want to do a few charts for a few minutes?
Yeah, I'd like to do a few charts. Fine.
All right.
If anyone else, obviously, if any viewers want to leave, that's fine. But yeah, I wouldn't mind doing some charts, guys.
Okay, let's do that. Let's have a look at some charts. So I'll pull up my charts here. I know PJ had mentioned Microsoft, so I always feel like I'm under the gun when we're doing the side bet segment, but looking at this now and with the downtrend, I think I might be able to win one, Andrew. I mean, you're cleaning up shop right now. 2-0. I gotta get one. So
yeah, I gotta keep up my level of smugness after that crypto crash. So
yeah.
Guys, no, that's just a bit of tongue in cheek humor. So, no, for myself, I just want to quickly say what I said earlier is, listen, I'm a crypto hodler, and this is just a nightmare. It's a nightmare for me as well. It really is. But from a trader, yeah, it's great. It's something we've seen on the horizon, and we rightly so reacted to it. We've done okay with it. But as a crypto enthusiast and someone who's holding crypto, it's breaking my heart, guys. To be honest, it just means another few years before your retirement, and yeah. How many more YouTube
cancel that vacation you booked?
Yeah. Well, the flights to Bermuda are off. I'm not attending Shane's party either. So
might get some summer rallies, but we'll see.
I don't know. Shane might buy me a ticket, and I'll see you all there.
Yeah, you might do. So Bitcoin is not looking all that sharp. Flirting with what is it, 30K?
Yeah, so it seems to be stuck between 30 and 29, doesn't it? It seems to be. How can I explain Bitcoin? What I'm seeing, it's a bit like a fish out of water. It's flapping for dear life. Yeah, and that's what I'm seeing at the moment. It's really, really struggling to stay where it is.
At a quick glance, do you guys see a head and shoulders pattern?
On which time frame are you looking at, P?
The one that Mandela's got on the weekly.
Yeah, so this would be the head. This is the left shoulder and the right shoulder. I mean, that means that we're heading lower. If it is,
yeah, we're going lower. So guys, 28,400 or 28,476 to be precise. Yeah, it's critical, and we're bouncing off that level, and like I say, it's like a fish out of water. It's flapping. It's dying to do something, and people. It just looks desperate to me at the moment. Looking at the charts, the best way to describe it. We need a clear break above 32, and then if we get a break above 32, I will be interested in going long on Bitcoin, and all my anxiety and crypto depression will be over. But if I'm going to be real, I think we might break 28,400, and then we could be looking at 25 down to 21. So Bitcoin, if I was a trader or if I was an investor, I'd probably sit on the sidelines until I see a clear move.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. I think, like you said, we're gonna have to stay above 30K. If we can't stay above 30K, that's not a good sign. That's what
that's what it is. And to me, it's just like a boxer on the ropes, isn't it? So we drop down to around 29, and then Bitcoin comes out fighting, throwing a few lefts and rights, tries and gets back up towards 30, and then it just gets pinned back down, and it just gets pinned in the corner, and it's looking bearish. And I just want to say, I know some of the comments in previous videos that Andrew loves his charts. Listen, the charts work. Charts are live. They're reacting to live buyers and sellers, and buyers and sellers. That's from the news or the fundamental data that you take in. So it does. For me, it doesn't look good. I don't know if you guys maybe have a different opinion, but I just think it's really struggling at the moment.
I've heard some
Nice.
analysis on the price and saying that it's never dropped lower than its previous all-time high. But when I look at the charts, if you draw a Fibonacci from the low of 2019 on the weekly time frame, not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but I do think that it has the potential to drop much lower. Um, but we'll see what sort of economic events could potentially help that to get down that low. Obviously, that wouldn't be good for crypto on the whole because Bitcoin's trend kind of dictates
It can,
others,
yeah,
but I don't know. I'm thinking 15, 13,000 could potentially be an option. But again, let's just see where things go. With all of the interest rates being, a lot of fear being put into the minds of traders right now. Um,
yeah,
I'm 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 not confident in Bitcoin right now reaching those six-figure numbers anytime soon. But I
yeah.
am
So
positive about crypto on the whole. And
yeah,
again, it's just that mature mindset where these are buying the dips. DCA, dollar cost averaging, is gonna really be helpful and not more than what you can 2%, 3% here and there of your portfolio or your your cash positions, not too much. Don't go overboard because it can go um, much lower, I believe.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I agree.
just
I just wanted to go back to the analysis from 7th of June when we were looking at Bitcoin was around, I think it was 13. Sorry, Bitcoin was 38,800. And I think Andrew, you and I, and I think PJ as well, we were looking at what would happen next with Bitcoin, and we were calling for a bit of a down move in Bitcoin, and also I think in the Nasdaq as well. And it's basically done what we were looking at, to basically anticipating what we were expecting to happen. And I think a few things probably added to it: the geopolitical, also what happened with Luna, and also the Fed kind of starting to get a little sterner. I think it's like a perfect storm in a way,
yeah. but
and
but
it's
yeah.
yeah.
There's no coincidence that we're seeing that, and then what happens, and that's what good chart analysis or technical analysis can do. It actually
Yeah,
tells
yeah, you're
you,
right.
it actually tells you, what's coming, and and it gives you an idea of which way the news is going to go. Now,
Yeah,
the only thing I
you're
will
right.
say about crypto, like I say, I'm a crypto hodler, so I want the best for crypto. Crypto being so volatile, it takes one tweet, takes one news event. It only takes one thing to spin that price back around and moving in the
Yeah,
right direction.
yeah,
So yeah, my head tells me that Bitcoin's going down to around 16K, but then I wouldn't be surprised to wake up tomorrow and see it back up to 35, 40, 45. Just by Elon Musk, or I don't know, letting Trump loose back on Twitter, which all the crypto hodlers probably need right now. But
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised to see Bitcoin and crypto turn around, because it is that volatile, isn't it? For sure.
yeah. It
But
is.
at the
It is.
moment, but if it's just to follow the technical analysis, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see 16K. At 16K, I'll be red hot at looking to buy back in. Same with XRP, 25 cents. I'd be It gets down to 25 cents.
Selling
Yeah,
kidneys.
I'd be red hot to buy back in
Yeah,
at those prices.
yeah, yeah.
So
I
because
think that's where it was when we started looking at XRP, or
Yeah,
somewhere around
yeah,
there,
yeah.
more or
Before the
less.
first pop, before the pop to all-time highs.
And
Yeah,
same, I think Cardano, don't get in like all the technical side of Cardano, but obviously I think it is crypto 2.0, and I just think it's a great opportunity. So if I was starting fresh into cryptocurrency right now, there's some great opportunities, I think, for the next bull cycle. But it will come for sure, but
yeah, it definitely
just
will.
just just need
Absolutely.
just need a little bit of patience, that's all. So
Yeah.
what I once we finish up with crypto, Mandela, I don't want to share the screen because you and I spoke about gold in detail, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
Yes, we did.
off air. And I think, so here it is. Let me quickly.
You also posted this in the WhatsApp, I think, in the WhatsApp chats.
Yeah, so yes, we did on the 10th of May, didn't we? We had a little look at gold. We decided, we said it's a really good opportunity for shorting gold. And we can see there, we took our profit around 17,882, and we were good for, 6,200 points. So it's probably one of my best trades of the year so far. I've had some good ones this year. I think Bitcoin and gold now has probably been my best two trades, and I try not to trade cryptocurrency. So we've done really well on gold. So for next week, guys, I'm looking at Ethereum short. So Ethereum's looking very bearish next week, and so is the US 30. So they're definitely two trades I'm looking at. And I was just saying to Mandela off there, what I'm doing now is I'm looking at weekly timeframes. What I'm finding the weekly timeframes is giving me a lot more time to do the analysis. Look at any high impact news that's coming out, and it gives me the time to actually get on the chart and put in the proper trend lines, support, resistance, etc. So if anyone is still watching or any repeats of the video, just zoom out on your charts. It's a bit slower. You have to wait for your setups a little bit longer, but the reward, it's much better. You definitely get a bigger movement in the correct direction. So if you're trading H1, H4s, I'd step away from that for sure.
Yeah.
But gold, Mandela, I can see you there with your high five. Yeah, we done well on that. So
you did very well. And I wanted to just show. I was going to show is that the monthly or the weekly?
Weekly. That is for me. Okay. So I'm trading weekly charts. This year.
Okay. Nice. So me and PJ, we had the call of the year for 2022, and I've had to eat some humble pie.
The year's not over yet.
Well, you can see I have the pennant here. So this was the resistance, and then we broke out. I thought we were off to the races.
Good call. And that's the call.
No, but it's retested that support.
It came right back. Yes.
Yeah.
So I think next week, or at least the end of the month, is going to be key to see if we can hold here. And then this is where we put our call of the year. So still anybody's game, I think. But that was a good short call, Andrew.
What's still in a great position. Great position.
Yeah, you can kind of see. Yeah, it's come right back to like almost the apex, or where the pennant meets.
And it'll act as a support in it, so it'll bounce off.
Yeah, it's textbook.
Yeah, so it'll have a break through it, and that'll become a resistance level. Or so act as a support. It's just go down there, touch it, and then go up to the call of the year. But gold's a good bet, isn't it? You can't bet against gold.
And I think with inflation heating up, I think also, just the uncertainty with what's going on, people are trying to diversify and get out of stocks. I do think gold has a good shout. I did want to have a quick look at oil very quickly. Actually, you know what? I want to look at the NASDAQ as well, because this has been taking some licks. It's also known as the US 100. I have it here also. So we were talking about this one on the SFX show as well. On 7th of March, we were saying that it's definitely worth a sell. And it's basically moved down. This was the COVID crash. And then we moved up into bubble territory. And this green box is kind of just a standard pullback. This is kind of consolidation, and then this is a bear market. We've come right into the bear market area.
Yeah, no, we've done really well this year. I think, for me, definitely, since I've moved out to the weekly time frame, technical analysis it's been on point, and we're getting some really, really good calls this year, and that reflects in the prop firms that we're actually trading for. So we've done well, and. Yeah, so again, this week, if anyone's interested, I think US 30 for a short, potentially, and Ethereum. Definitely looking at it. Yeah. If you guys get time tonight, just have a look at the Ethereum chart, US dollar. It's definitely moving on short.
I saw that while you were talking about it, and I think 1600 is an easy target to hit. I
Easy,
mean
yeah.
that
For
could be,
Ethereum, that is.
yeah,
Ethereum, yeah. I think we can see that in the next day or two.
yeah.
Yeah. The low. What was the low? I'm gonna just pull it up here. So we got as low as 16 already. Last week, 1633.
So on
So yeah,
that Vic there, I think we might see some consolidation, but it all depends on what everything else does. I do think it's gonna drop to at least retest that where that Vic had been pushed up.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you on that piece. So I think it's gonna hit that wick again. It's gonna fill that wick, yeah, for sure. And then once it gets down to that wick, then I'll be making the decision on
Another
do I continue to hold a short position or do I go long? But that wick is key there. That's a really strong support level, and I'm probably going to take. I'm probably going to take that trade tonight down to that wick. So there's a couple of thousand. Was it a couple of $1,000 there? Or a couple of
Yeah.
100 points.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm probably going to take that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good shout.
and you've
Yeah,
been
that's
killing it
something you
with the
guys put on my.
10x
Sorry. Go ahead.
10x leverage seems like your sweet spot in the pub.
Yeah, 10x leverage is good. I mean, we did a video on Shorten, and yeah, I mean, these little sort of scalps or these little
Yeah.
short-term trades, I think, have been really helping to raise some cash. And if you put the leverage on and make sure you have your stop loss, and Andrew mentioned putting your stop loss at break even as soon as you can. These are the little sort of what's it called? A holy grail, the holy grails of trading.
I'll make or break it.
Yeah. And you have to get to the point where it's automatic. You're not even thinking about it. Okay, I'm up. Okay, let's move stop loss to break even. What's next?
So for me, once I get confirmation on the next candle normally, so I set my trade to go in short. I'm a better short trader than a long trader. So
Yeah.
I'm going short. Once I get the first move, the first candle, once that candle closes and I get the next candle that starts to go short, then I'm looking to normally I take 50% of my profit out, put it in my pocket, and then I get that stop to break even, and then I keep the same take profit.
Yeah.
Happy days. It works well.
That's it. That's the way to do it.
This is definitely shortened season, and as they say, the bulls take the steps and the birds take the elevator. So if you're looking at that price action, shorten is some wonderful opportunities in this climate at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to just show the I did a comparison between the Bitcoin and NASDAQ. So I don't know if you can see this, PJ. You probably can't, but Andrew, can you see it?
Yeah, I can. Yeah. We pulled this up about I think a couple of months ago. We were actually live on air, and you and I actually done that overlay, didn't we?
Yeah,
and
this
we
is
actually
it here.
and we were surprised how much it correlates together.
So this is from the last 12 months. So May 2021 till today, this is how it's moved. So Bitcoin is down 40% and the NASDAQ is down 16. But you can see where the peaks are pretty much lined up and the lows are kind of lined up too. And I use this kind of as a tool where Bitcoin is 24/7. So if when the NASDAQ or the US 100 is closed and Bitcoin's starting to creep down, then I can kind of say, okay, NASDAQ is probably going to start or open up lower. So it's a nice little trick that I found very helpful because they're so closely correlated. I find it very helpful. There was something else I wanted to say. Oh yeah, I wanted to say another shout out to the panel because this was the first time we did it. And if we can get some feedback from our viewers, if there were things that you'd like to see or anybody interested in getting one next time, I thought they really shared a lot of wisdom, a lot of good advice, and it's nice to hear from them as well.
So I tell you what I'd like to do just off the cuff. I wouldn't mind doing the investor blueprint and getting Shane, Carlsen, and Terri on, and maybe we just give them a 10-minute slot quickly to go for their niche, what they've bespoke in. So I always go back to it. I really enjoyed Terry's interview. Was it last year? Because Terri made me think about saving the dollar. So at the moment, I'm all about spending the dollar. Buying gold, buying Bitcoin,
buying yachts.
buying, yeah, buying, yeah, dinghies, and yeah, no, but no, that's what I've always been about. You know, if I make $1, spend $1. But when we got Terri on the show, it was just like she made me think. Actually, you know, actually, you don't need to accumulate to speculate, as the saying goes. Sometimes, you know, we can just save a couple of bucks, and then when our right opportunity comes along. So that'll be really good. I'm thinking, just thinking out loud. That's all. Maybe with the investing blueprint, rather than just the one guest for the hour, we could break it down to 2 or 3 for 20 minutes. And
Yeah.
Matt, I'm sure Matt, we'll talk about it off air, just to drop it on you guys. But
yeah, no, I can reach out to them, but yeah, I'm happy to talk to you guys about it.
Because I can tell, you know, like Carlsen, he's got a lot of good information going on inside the head. Shane has, and I know Terri has, and you know, I wouldn't mind just actually giving those guys the opportunity to go through what they do, because I just think they got lots of good information for us.
Yeah, I agree. I was very impressed with what they had to share, and each one has a different perspective. Each one has a different investing journey to bring them to the show, and that's just some of the people in our investing community. And I think that was a great idea to have the panel. So thanks,
That's
Andrew,
good.
for suggesting that. All right, I think that's it on that note.
So just the final thing for me is.
Yeah.
Hopefully people will watch this show, you know, they'll click onto it. Please check out our YouTube shorts that we've been doing. So in the past, I think when we started the channel, it was all about, you know, me, Mandela, PJ, and we rabbited on, you know, what we've been now over an hour and a half. It's very hard for people to watch that. You can go and watch a movie in 1 hour and 30 minutes, yeah? So something we're working on YouTube shorts for around between 3 to 10 minutes max. So that'll give you guys, you know, the time to have a quick look. You know, if you're on a lunch break, toilet break, just waiting in the shops or something. So please tune into our channel and please check out the YouTube shorts. You know, there's some really good information on them.
Yeah,
got some things lined up. Got my turn's coming.
Yeah.
I can't wait, P. Can't wait. And in the meantime, I want to gift you a free gift certificate to Orchid Spa, PJ.
Thanks
for all your hard work. Andrew and I were actually talking about crowning you the Employee of the Year for all that you've done for us. So one of the perks is that you're gonna get a gift certificate to Orchid Spa. We have a few other things up our sleeves as well.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
No, we
could definitely use some relaxation with what's been going on the last few weeks. But yeah, for sure, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Excellent. Okay, guys. So thanks very much. We really enjoyed the show. We've run over time, so that's a good sign. Feels like I've been here 5 minutes. I thought the comments are great. I thought the panel was great. Obviously, you two, as always, are great. Yeah. And I'll catch up with you later. So thanks very much, guys. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Great show, guys. Really enjoyed it.
All right.
Thank you.
Cool, man.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Peace.
All right, P. You're gonna stay on after P for a few minutes?
Yeah. We could catch up.
All right, let's do that. All right. I can't find the intro. Okay, here we go. Extra. There we go. Cool.